Yeah, this brush is no good. I don't know if you can see that, but it's kind of like I have a hard time forming a good tip. I'm gonna switch. Let's try another brush. This is the brush I use for all the edging. I don't like it. Yeah, exactly, Mickey. American politics are very much so like us versus them though, which like just seems really tiring. We got a little bit of that over here, more and more over the years, but this is better. Yeah, that's why I kind of steer clear from most political conversations on stream. Because it's already everywhere, bro. You can literally go anywhere. There's a politic everywhere, dude. General server in StarCraft 2. It's all politics. Ay. Exhausting. It doesn't even begin to describe it, but yeah. Yeah, it is tiring. I feel like political seasons though also just start so much earlier. Am I crazy? Like I didn't really follow it much when I was young. But I feel like this lead up to the American elections has now been like a fucking year and a half. It's been ages, dude. It's been going on for what seems to be forever. It seems to start earlier every election cycle. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like it's been on for a long ass time. Yeah, it's kind of like Christmas, you know? Like Christmas is coming earlier every year too. It's just, I don't know. You blame it on marketing? That's a marketing thing for sure. It's also easier with social media than ever, right? Okay, I think I'm reasonably happy with that cable. Kind of the vibe we're going for. Let's go on serviceability, or serviceable ability. There you go. Welcome. How are you doing, Mr. Thorpe? Good afternoon. Not doing so good. Oh shit. Hope whatever it is gonna be better soon, dude. I'm doing okay. Personally, I can't complain. It's always nice to stream again, dude. Life can be a little crazy sometimes, but I can always start up the stream, which is a blast. You're halfway through my Baldur's Gate playthrough and I'm down to single-digit brain cells? What? Wait, what did I do wrong in Baldur's Gate? Do you have hindsight in mind? You know what's gonna be happening in the future and then therefore you criticize my decision making? Or am I just playing dumb? Because that can't ever be the case, because I play brilliant in every game I play. Good on Sith. You got your first chance to play Warhammer 40k team, but sadly you lost. Okay. I have never played a tabletop game of Warhammer. I don't play, I just paint. I skipped half the content. I didn't skip anything. I played the game. The game isn't designed to have you play everything. What's up, Harry? Games like Baldur's Gate, you can't really play wrong, dude. Like, I don't go out of my way discovering everything in any game I play. It rarely happens. What I like about CRPGs in particular is that everybody's playthrough is slightly different, right? And in some cases, like with Baldur's Gate, it's substantially different. I think that's so sick. Like, everybody's had, like, a different experience. It's really nice. What's up, Gains and Sermons? I did quite a few side quests in Baldur's Gate 3. Replayability in those type of games is amazing too, dude. Because you can technically play it like 7 times and still learn new things. Having chat on stream would have been awesome. Okay. Yeah, for some games I do it and for some I don't. I figured for Baldur's Gate it'd be nicer because there might be some people that could spoil certain things. And I don't really want to have that in the VOD so much, but... everybody was super nice during that game. I don't think we got any spoiler. What's good on Drain? You've been on stream for the past few days. You used to watch my YouTube videos because your dad was super into StarCraft. Okay. Wait, you used to watch my videos? Hold up right now. Could somebody call the Inquisition? That man right there, officer. You've just started again? Nice. Welcome back. Yeah, game is tough. A lot of folks don't actually play the game, but just like to watch. Which is a pretty common thing, actually, in the StarCraft world. A lot of people that prefer watching much more over playing. Got a little bit of silver. I think I'm gonna relayer a little bit over here. Because I don't really love how this is all kind of blurring together as one similar looking color. Try and make this a little bit brighter again. A little bit shinier too. Okay. It's a little difficult to decide how I want to do some of these things. I think the weapon arm is looking okay. Let's get a little bit of the copper out as well. We need to shake it. A Warhammer RTS game would be pretty sick, nearest. But Games Workshop is very focused on trying to make a lot of money, you know? So I don't think they're gonna be making an RTS game. When looking to maximize profits, it's probably suboptimal. Well, StarCraft 2 came out in 2010. Very, very long time ago in the gaming world. That was back when Arbierto was only like 45 years old. Long time ago, dude. Total War Warhammer is kind of RTS-y? Yeah, kind of. Oh, okay, sorry. There is still a giant market out there for PC games. But the fact of the matter is that for mass market appeal, mobile and console are absolute king. That's not to say that the PC market doesn't exist, but unless you can figure out how to make an RTS game for console or for mobile, and then also somehow, some way monetize it in a way that, you know, would make it similar to a $90 mount in World of Warcraft. It's yeah, it's a little tricky. No, StarCraft 2 has been always a PC game. Let's get a little bit of my brightest color too. I have never used this color before. I think Bilbo had a vest like this. In RuneScape, you need 20 defense. You thought they recently added console to StarCraft 2? Nope. What's going on, Louis? Thank you very much. So this is a very bright silver. I want to use this to like dip in some of the rivets. Same for like the small ones. There's a lot of them. We're gonna be making loads of them quite rusty with some streaking grime later. There we go. There is StarCraft 64, yeah, which is for the Nintendo 64, but that is not quite in the same category as console gaming. Not in 2024 anyways. Kids these days don't even know how to hold a Nintendo 64 controller. Although, to be fair, kids back then also had no idea. Somehow, some way, the Nintendo 64 controller was designed for people with 3 hands. That is a conspiracy theory that I don't see highlighted very often. Why the fuck was that controller designed for people that... Is it for lizard people? Somebody go grab my tinfoil hat. Can we trust the Nintendo 64 controller? Okay. Some edge highlighting on some of the silver details. This doesn't have to be quite as strict. Oh my god, yeah, I forgot about the blisters you would get sometimes from those controllers. Isn't it insane, dude, that you would get blisters from a freaking controller? Especially with like fighting games and stuff. I remember just mashing my buttons with full force. Completely unnecessary. I would figure that my damage would go up if I just pressed the button harder. I do not cannon, no. I just paint. Trying to introduce a little bit of color variety here. Make it all just a tiny bit shinier. This is the inside of his arm though, so like this is not gonna be seen very... Actually, no, this will be seen. This will be seen from the front. But I think it looks nice. Maybe a tiny little highlight over here along this edge. Much as what we've done for the rest of the armor panels and whatnot. Fixing fuck-ups does take quite a long time with painting miniatures. I highly recommend not making them. The whole process is much quicker when you don't make mistakes. I arrived at one of the worst steps of building a model ship, adding the lifeboats. Oh, I never really considered that. So you have to have, yeah, I guess they're dangling, right? Usually they're like, I think that little part over there is pretty nice. We'll have to relayer some of the inner cables. Or some of the cables, some of the inner cables, some of these little, whatever they are. They're like metallic zip ties. I don't know how that works. What's going on, System Admin? Good morning. What I should do is paint or print decals and paste them onto the miniatures. I have decals on this guy. I've got a little skull, for example, right over here. We have some more over the main body. Which one of the Haka's arms is my favorite? The middle one. Did you guys see the Formula 1 race yesterday? F1 is going kind of nutty. Long story short, Red Bull, which has been the team to beat for several years now, they have two drivers. One of them is Max. Max Verstappen is the world champion for several years in a row right now, and he's leading the leaderboards this year again too. However, the biggest prize pool in Formula 1 is the Constructors' Championship. So the main prize pool that a lot of teams aim for is winning the Constructors. And it's basically, so every team has two drivers on the grid. The Constructors is basically the accumulation of all the points from both of the drivers. So it's the Constructors that built the best car, because every team builds their own car. Anyways, Max's teammate is Sergio Perez, who's from Mexico. And yesterday, the Grand Prix was in Mexico. Now, Perez has been underperforming for like several years now. And yesterday was like, it was something, dude. Basically, Max is considered to be a very aggressive driver. He drove like an absolute jackass yesterday. And he got 2 times a 10-second penalty. Now, a 10-second penalty is one of the harshest punishments you can get in F1. Getting 2 of them back-to-back in basically 2 corners is a massive, massive, massive penalty. So the way that it works is with your very first pit stop, or like your next pit stop that you do, You drive in, and before the mechanics can start working on your car, you have to serve the pit stop penalty. So he had to stand there for 20 seconds. So Max comes into the fucking pit box. They're sitting there for 20 seconds before they can do his actual tire change. They change the tires. He drives back onto the circuit, and he still comes out ahead of Perez. He still came out ahead of Perez. Dude, I was watching this race, I'm like, what the? How do you just had a 20-second penalty, and the guy who drives basically the exact same car. Ay, 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 ay. Insane, dude. Insane. I giggled. I thought it was very funny. Sounds like Perez drives like you, slow and safe. Well, I mean, obviously he's one of the best drivers in the world, but he is just not up to the same level as Verstappen, that's for sure. Yeah, insane though. There was also a lot of drama yesterday between Perez and Lawson. So Lawson recently, as the season has been going on for quite a long time, he recently got Ricciardo's seat. So Ricciardo basically has been fired, and they replaced, 2 races ago, they replaced him with Liam Lawson, who's like a young a young New Zealand driver, so he's from New Zealand. And he had a bunch of moments yesterday with Perez as well, whereas at some point they literally drive past each other. And Lawson, he already had like a lot of trouble with Fernando Alonso last week, who's an old driver, and he drives past Perez, who's also a little bit older, and he literally gives him the middle finger as he's driving by at like 340 kilometers an hour. He like actually takes a hand off the wheel, flips him off, and then continues driving. This guy's like 22 years old. First he gets into trouble with like, you know, Fernando, who is somewhere in his 40s, I think he's like 42. And then the next race over, in Mexico, he decides to flip off Perez in the middle of a car. Actually insane though. That is considered quite rude for those of you that don't go outside much like myself. No, there's no penalty for flipping off your fellow drivers. You can technically do it. It's kind of like landing a mule inside of your opponent's main base, you know? There's a lot of rumor that Lawson may very well be getting Perez's seat next year. Even though he's only driven 2 races this season, he is performing very well. So there's a lot of pressure between those two. Because I don't really see Perez staying for next year. He's just not, like, he's not performing. So I would imagine that seat is probably gonna go to Lawson. But just to see them fucking each other over the entire time is pretty funny. It's such a silly sport though, obviously, right? Like the whole Formula 1 is kind of weird. But it is kind of fun to see the drama. It's basically like a soap opera. Except everybody's a multimillionaire. Nah, there's no way you're gonna get a... You think they're gonna give him a penalty for giving the middle finger to somebody else? You think so? I would be very surprised. Nah. Although race control has done some dumb shit, the FIA in general has done some weird shit. Okay. Some of these lines are kind of thick, man. Okay. Would it be crazy for me to chip into some of these? Could we do that a little bit later? I could do it right now, I guess. I think I'm gonna chip into this this skull a little bit with a brush. Just little scratches. It's looking a little bit too perfect. This feels stupid, but I'm gonna do it. We wanna make sure that this is part of the whole thing at some point. I will do a better job with it later when we get to some actual weathering, but I have the black on my palette now, so I may as well. I don't want it to be too uniform. Okay, we'll get back to it a little bit more later. I actually did not quite paint this section here particularly well. It's a little splotchy and not really very clean. I think part of that though is the fact that when I painted this last time, the brush tip was already kinda eh. Hard to paint when you don't have a nice brush, man. See if I can use the edge of the brush, the side of the brush, or a little bit of edge highlighting. A lot of edges on this thing. I've been using my Apple Watch again lately, Chad. The only thing about the Apple Watch is that it's now fucking dying on me twice a day. I need to charge it twice a day. Mine's like, I don't know, old. It's been around for at least like 5 years. And the battery is just not holding up anymore. Which is kind of shitty, I'm not gonna lie. Having to charge a watch is kind of dumb in general. You got the most recent support chat ever. Someone contacting us that they don't have internet using the IT chat. Ah, that's a classic. Hello, my internet is not working. Using the internet. Not entirely realistic, I guess. Are you trying to suggest that end users are a little dumb? My two best support cases have to be a person using an unplugged mouse, dragging it on their monitor, expecting it to work. Wow. They literally, when you asked them to move their mouse to the top right-hand corner of the screen, they actually picked up their mouse and put it in the corner. Next level. Making the tips of these things all nice and shiny. That's not how you use a mouse? Well, mouses are kind of like touchscreens. And so are, every monitor is a touchscreen if you try hard enough. So if yours is not working, Ramble, more pressure will likely solve the issue. Don't come to me if it's broken, okay? Okay, I'm gonna add it to every single one of these things. I'm gonna paint every single tip. At least the ones that make sense. Some of them might be a little tricky to reach, but they would be in the shadow anyways. I will add a lot of blood to the claws, as well as the drill that I'm painting right now, so we don't have to go too crazy with a lot of these details, because I think a lot of it will probably be gooped up, but you always see some of it through, right? So may as well try and make them look extra sharp. And extra shiny means extra sharp, right? Isn't that how it goes? You had a touchscreen laptop in high school? Tetris keep trying to explain things by tapping on the screen? Bro, don't touch the screen if you don't think it's a touchscreen. What the hell? Get your dirty fingers off my monitor, man. That's crazy. We didn't have computers in high school that we would bring from home. I feel old immediately when you say that. I had to lug around a bunch of books. Yeah, we use pen and paper and books. I can't even write in cursive, chat. I can read an analog clock. Get on my level. These are big accomplishments. Who remembers the floppy disk? You mean the save icon? You do realize there's gonna be many people living right now, many folks that grow up, that recognize the save icon, but not a floppy disk. It's kind of awesome. You remember the floppy disk? But do you remember the floppy disk? Like, I'm talking like an 8-inch floppy, you know? That is coincidentally also my nickname in college, but... Anyways, yo, what's going on, Confused Peach?
Sheesh, almost lost my streak. Thanks for the many months of entertainment.
Thank you, dude, for the many months of support. Welcome back. Almost lost your streak. You know, if you sub with like a credit card or PayPal or whatever, you can set it up to be recurring. So that way you will never lose a streak ever again. Thumbs up from Lowko. But yeah, no, it is a thing. Do I remember Clippy? Yeah, I do remember Clippy. Clippy is a bit of a legend. I don't think he would ever do anything, but that was the first version of AI. Clippy sucked, dude. He sucks even more than AI. He didn't do shit. He just hung out in the corner of your screen. That's all he did. Did anybody actually use Clippy for anything? He was more like a mascot, more so than anything else. He just hung around. He was my friend, Lowko? Okay. You used it for testing? Okay. You used him as a friend when you were lonely? Oh God. You're not the only one apparently, Mickey. It's International Animation Day? Oh. Because Clippy. Because we're talking about Clippy, we naturally transition towards National Animation Day. Okay. I didn't clean my water. There's gonna be some metal flakes in here, but I guess it's okay. We already have tiny bits of metal. I have never painted with enamels before, but I do have some streaking grime that I want to use on this miniature when we get to the weathering part of things. I don't have a lot of experience with it, but I guess I will. I'm gonna have to give it a try, for sure. So that'll come up. So that's it's an enamel paint that you can quite easily control apparently with white spirits. So that's what I want to try and give a try. But I don't really like. I've been spending a lot of time trying to get this miniature up to this level. And I'm excited to do weathering on it and actually like make him look nice and grimy and dirty and all that. But at the same time, I'm also happy with the way that it looks right now. So we gotta be, yeah, I will do it. If anything, it'll be a nice learning opportunity, but I am a little afraid of making it look ugly. We're quite a few hours deep into this right now. But it should be okay. We should be able to manage it. Installing all the rivets. There's a dried hair underneath the paint, which is suboptimal. Okay. I think this arm is done. Anything that we should fix? I think it's looking pretty good. So that's gonna be his right hand, which is gonna go right over here. Hey, look, if you're planning on doing heavy streaking grime, it's probably more efficient to do the edge highlighting after the grime. Mate, I have already spent so many hours doing edge highlighting. I've seen a couple people say the same thing, but I am many, many hours in at this point. So yeah, that ship has sailed. But I guess it will be a learning opportunity, you know? Like if I want to do another edge highlight after that, we'll get to it, I guess. But I think I'm gonna recolor in some of the little segments over here so we can glue in one of the arms. Thank you for the suggestion, Tua. It's a lot of fun. By the way, the streaking grime is difficult to mess up. It's way more forgiving. Okay. Yeah, I haven't worked with it before. It seems easy. Especially since it's gonna be weathering, right? So we're mostly just gonna use it as like a, I don't know, like we want it to be a rusty, and the rust effect has to be pretty streaky, right? It shouldn't be clean rust. That doesn't really make a lot of sense for a weathered machine, so it should be relatively straightforward. I've seen a bunch of folks use it. Seems easy enough, but yeah. There's a couple techniques on this guy. So I've only been mini painting for a little bit of time, really. There's a bunch of techniques on this guy that I have never really executed before. Like this many metallics, for example, I've never painted. I've never done like this type of weathering on all of the metallic parts. And it's just in general a bunch of stuff that I'm not really familiar with, like applying decals. I'd never applied a decal before. So I'm trying to do a decent job, you know, but it's a learning process, but I'm happy with how it's going so far. Like, this is the first machine I've painted. I'll try and add some bright highlights here as well in this segment, in this section. Got a big bit of fluff. I did do a dry brush on everything here already on all the metallics. So we're mostly just looking for the brightest areas. There's a lot you can roll into the streaking pass. For instance, the streaking grime is great for metallics, and you can just go heavier on the metallic parts. Okay. I was thinking about mostly using it on the rivets, but I may use it on some of the back metallics too. I'm not planning on airbrushing it on though. I'm planning on like dipping it on and then feathering it out with some spirits. So I'm not gonna do like I've seen some folks do like an airbrush version of it. No, I don't think I'm gonna do it like on the plates here. Maybe I will a little bit. We'll see how it goes, man. I've seen people like basically airbrush the entire miniature with streaking grime, with like an enamel paint, and then specifically going back in with removing all of the dirt. I don't wanna do it that way. I wanna use it as like a relatively specific highlight. Or weathering effect, I guess. It's not really a highlight. I may add some of it as well to the machinery, though. Okay, after I'm done with this side, and we're done adding in some of these brightest highlights, I'm gonna glue in the arm. Which I'm pretty excited for doing, because we've had the arm here separate from the body ever since the very beginning. I feel like I can be kind of quick though with most of the metallics here, because the metallics are pretty self-explanatory. We don't want them to look too perfect, so I think it's okay. Yeah, most of this will still be accessible anyways, other than this right over here. So I think this will probably do the trick. Yeah, we want it to go like that. Now my super glue is downstairs. And I'm thinking of maybe, like, I know gluing it down to like a little layer of, might also not be ideal, a layer of paint. Let me see. It would probably be better if I can get some bare plastic. There's also some of that putty over here, still kind of stuck to this part. Let's try and wipe that off as much as we can. Same over here. I think I'm gonna try and create some bare plastic here if I can do it. This feels wrong. But I think it'll be better for me for a connecting point over here if we can get rid of some of the paint. Is this wrong, chat? Am I crazy? This feels cursed as hell. Yeah, I want to do it a little bit more subtly. Exactly, 2K. Setting it down, the streaking crime can be... Okay. Yeah. For super glue, it shouldn't matter that much. I'm thinking a little bit of a rougher surface here will probably make it a better connecting point. Because I don't want the arms to accidentally fall off, you know? Okay.